Thank you for your pledge on Patreon. Mike Hammer 757.
Hey, yo, Flip.
Yo.
I'm going to put you on some fire, man. They got this new beard wash company. They got the lotion and the everything.
What's their name?
They got a recovery room.
What's the name?
Maestro's Classic.
G-Money's up front.
I'll put you on.
No, I've been put you on the Maestro's, sure? Man. You forgot the way I brought you? You forgot where I brought you up there?
Oh, man.
You forgot about Ghost?
All right. What's his name?
Ghost, you know again?
He cool, man. Ghost is cool, man.
Yo, make sure you get your Maestro's Classic beard care products today at Target, CVS, or go on maestrosclassic.com and use the promo code QueensFlip to get 10% off.
10%, that's it? I thought it was free if you put your...
Are you crazy?
All right, okay.
Make sure you go there today. Log on maestroswithas.com. I'm from Queens. G-Money!
Yo.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Back at it. I'm feeling good. What's up? How you feeling?
Yeah, you looking good. What's all that about?
What you mean?
What's this?
this right here, you mean? this thing right here? We can't hit sound effects today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I turned it off intentionally.
Shout out to this episode.
Not the episode.
Well, the sponsor
for you,
for me, for this episode.
No. Hold on. Listen. Let me tell y'all people something.
Talk to them.
You know, I had to get, thank God you have people in your corner because you guys will pull wool over my eyes, but you ain't going to do it today. You are sponsoring DJ G-Money, so G-Money sponsor of the day is...
There we go. That sounds good.
G-Money sponsor of the day, yeah.
Shout out to Jungle Life City, man.
Oh, you
know what I'm saying? Jungle Life City in the
building. You don't stand up, that's too much.
Look, what's up?
Do they pay you to do this, bro?
Shout out to Jungle Life City, you know what I'm saying? JungleLifeCityStore.com is the website. Shout out to Maryland. Shout out to the DMV. You can follow on Twitter at Jungle Life City, Instagram, Jungle Life City. Check them out, you know what I'm saying? We got the...
How much you charging for that, bro? You just gave them a whole shout out.
What this say? Can you read this for me on the side?
Everything to get. Make sure that red light is blinking on there on that camera, man.
Yeah, let's get over that.
Yeah. Yo,
shout out Jungle Life City one time, man.
I don't confirm nor deny, but salute to everybody that sponsors G-Money. I think that's a great thing. He doesn't share. He comes in here and he shows off. He smiles and like he's smiling.
You know what's crazy? I had another sponsor, but they forgot to bring me the sponsor joint. But it's supposed to be like a whole joint and a table. It was crazy. Next time though, probably tomorrow.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I see some shit, I see something like that. I might slap it on the table. Like I believe in messing up the whole game, bro. I'm not eating, bro.
You are.
I'm not eating off of this sponsorship.
You could be. I'm waiting for whenever you're ready, man. You know what I'm saying?
Get out of here. Yo, a fan gave us congratulations, man. Everything the game. Salute to you, and I love the fact that you out here getting it how you get it.
Appreciate
all jokes aside, we don't count each other's pockets, but you're not sponsoring the episode, you're sponsoring G-Money. So if you want to sponsor the episode, you got to sponsor us both. 2 is the episode. You get it? But other than that, I think that you're doing a good job. I'm proud of you. But a fan said that instead of saying, we changed it from nigga we made it to yeah we made it, but they wrote we should say mama we made it. You saw that?
Yeah.
How you saw that?
I saw that. I watched the comments. Mama we made it. I don't know how that was.
So yeah we made it is good, right?
That's cool for now until we figure something else out.
But I'm excited about the next guest. You had me coming here early.
Yes.
These guys are serious. Behind the scenes they were talking about, they don't want to look crazy in front of the kids that they talk to and all that. They were showing off to me, making me a little jealous. You know what I mean? They don't want to look crazy. But before we get that, do you know what episode we on?
129.
See, you don't know. I'm on it.
I would say 128, but close.
G-Money!
Yo.
Episode 129.
Yeah, we made it.
Hey, a round of applause in the other room. We got a special guest today. G-Money, I'll let you do the honors because behind the scenes, you've been talking about these guys, hyping them. Oh, I do these events and all that showing off. You're doing DJ events and these guys look out, a family, and you talk so highly of them.
I mean, you see what they're doing. Like most guests we get here before the introduction, they talking before we start the show. These guys look professional. They're sitting there, they waiting, they coordinated. You got the, matching attire on today. You know what I'm saying? Today's guest straight out of Queens. You know what I'm saying? King's Foundation. You know what I'm saying? Considered one of the kingpins of Queens back in the days. I don't know if they go by that same. I don't know if we, you know what I'm saying? But, Lance Todd Feurtado, y'all.
Round of applause. And let me just say this, G. I salute you because you built these, even though they represent, they built them up because they fired, but you hype these guys, man.
Of course.
So, but just because you hype them, I'm going to get at them today.
Do your thing. You
Yeah.
You can
Because they
try.
came in here real confident,
You can
cocky.
try.
Look how you looking. Look.
They ready, man.
Huh?
They
Looking
ready.
through my soul, huh?
They ready.
Nah, I'm joking, man. Welcome, fellas. How y'all doing?
We blessed, man. Thank you for having us, man.
Welcome to Flip the Script. man.
Welcome. So we got Lance here to my left,
Yes, sir.
and we got brother Todd here. How y'all feeling, man?
Blessings, family.
All is well, man. All is well. We here, man. And first we just want to apologize because we were supposed to came so long ago, but we here now. You know what I'm saying?
I think timing is everything. I was saying behind the scenes also. We tried to get you guys up here before. It didn't work out for whatever reason, but right now I think it's an even better time you guys are here. You know what I'm saying? We definitely been highlighting a lot of the OGs, a lot of the veterans in the game, a lot of the guys that's doing that's been around the game for a long time, and you guys been there since day one. You know what I'm saying? Represent Queens, and you guys' story, is definitely one that we want to hear. I want to hear also. I mean, you guys watch me grow up, but I want to hear the story from you guys. We never sat down and spoke about, your story from your mouths. You know what I'm saying? So I'm intrigued today and happy to have you guys here today on the couch and talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
We thank you for having us. I mean, we're going to share. I mean, we want to know how much it's going to be. No, real talk, because our life is an open book, and, we give tidbits here and there. So we're not here to glorify past history.
No, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Anything about us is no brags. It's just facts. So we're not going to sit here and amp it up, you know what I'm saying, to over-exaggerate the point. Cats know us, man. We here. It's no brags. It's straight facts. We're not going to glorify it, but we're going to give the listeners and the viewers some of what they want, you know what I'm saying, to make sure they always tune in to Flip the Script. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's too early.
That's going to be biased by giving.
Yeah, because you say if you do that too early, that's bias. Because you do business with them. But that was smooth, though. I ain't gonna lie. That was
pretty good. Yeah.
Welcome. So, G-Money?
So let's start from the beginning, man. Like I said, you guys watched me grow up. So I want to hear the story from you guys growing up now.
All right, so we give it to you from the beginning, man, right? Because a lot of people haven't really heard the beginning, but, as educators, we're in schools doing a lot of different things. We're in Rikers Island, so we share that beginning, And so for cats that don't know, we was introduced to that street life at the tender ages of 11, 12, and 13.
Wow.
All we knew was the streets. There's three of us. You see two of us sitting here. I'm the middle, Todd is the youngest, and we have another brother, Tony.
Pretty Tony is what they call him.
That's what they call him. So, originally, we was born in Harlem,
Oh, wow.
I really don't claim Harlem too much because all of my life has been in Queens. We touched Queens in the early 60s. We grew up in a single-parent home. My mom and dad, we did have a dad, but just my mom and dad broke up. We grew up in a single-parent home. We was originally Southside Jamaica, Queens. We rep Southside. We're not geographic, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We don't get geographical with it. So we just rep New York. That's what we rep. But the block that we grew up on in Queens, right, every home on that block had what we describe as a fully functional family. They had a mom and a dad. So that meant they had dual incomes. Those kids in those homes had what they wanted. Us coming from a single-parent home, we didn't have what we needed, right? So at an early age, we took matters into our own hands. At the time, we was involved with one of the biggest gangs in Queens at the time. I guess it was equivalent to the Crips, the Bloods, the MS-13s, whatever, but it was one of the biggest gangs.
7 Crowns?
7 Crowns, exactly. And we took matters into our own hands, because we didn't have what we needed. So we called ourselves helping mom make ends meet. And so we started off at a young age, selling weed, trees, whatever they want to call it today. And at the time, we was about 1,500 members strong. And we had a couple of hundred of those members that was selling weed for our family. And actually, my brother was the oldest. It was Pretty Tony. He was like the brains of everything. He's the one that had all of the gimmicks, all of the different things that, Cass was just like, how can we get with this?
Yeah.
So like I said, we call ourselves help mom make ends meet, ends started to meet real quickly. And we went from helping her, and we became lovers of money.
Hold on, so real quick, hold on, because up here we like to take
something just missing.
Take a little slow.
Have it quick.
Yeah. You moving? You ready?
So we're gonna backtrack.
Yeah. So who started Seven Crowns?
Oh, that was
do you
a brother
remember who
by the
started?
name of. Well, actually, the Seven Crowns originated from out of the Bronx, right? By a brother named Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
And the prez of the Crowns from the Queens, from Jamaica, Queens, was a brother by the name of Mr. Black. And he happened to go to school in the Bronx with the original Crowns from out the Bronx. He brought it out to Queens, right? So the original, originator for the Seven Crowns in Southside in the Queens area was a brother by the name of Black. Back then, he was known as Mr. Black.
And it's more than safe to say, even though Godfather started it, Black got more notoriety than Godfather. So some people may think that Black is the originator of the concept of the Seven Crowns.
Right, because Queens had more representation.
Yeah.
Like in the Bronx, it might have been 50 to 100 cats, you know what I'm saying? Queens, it was Goop Gobs of us.
What was the initiation process to be part of the Seven Crowns? Like, you just got to be like.
It wasn't nothing like today, man. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and no disrespect to nobody repping what they rep, rep what you rep, we just did things in a positive way. But there was, some forms of initiation. You had to go through windmills, you had to go through certain things. You had to show that you was tough, you know what I'm saying? We have a saying, Alice ain't raised no bitches, Alice ain't raised no punks. So that's me and my brothers. But that was with all, everybody back then had a hand game. And it was okay to fight a fair one, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You took your lumps, you come back the next day and you fight, you know what I'm saying? And it was community fights, it was neighborhoods, Back then when the Seven Crowns was originated, racism was at an all-time high back then.
Definitely.
And it was out in the open. So really it was created, and when you look at the history of a lot of different gangs, it was created to bring some type of stability and protection to the community and folks of color. That's why it was originally started and originated. Because where we lived, to go shopping or food shopping, we had to go on the other side of the bridge. When you quickly went from one side of Jamaica, now you're in Richmond Hill, You know what I'm saying? That was predominantly white. And so just to go shopping, we had to fight to come back over. So things were started like that.
I have a question. Tell us about your dad.
So, people kind of look at me and my brothers and they say, man, what the hell happened to y'all? Because on my mother's side of the family, they're all educators. On my father's side of the family, they were all law enforcement. Yeah, so people kind of look at us and say, well, man, what happened? Something didn't rub off, So, my dad and my mom, they went through their, thing, they went through their separation. He was, in our life, but at a distance. He was always around. He just stayed in Harlem. We was in Queens. And, back then, other boroughs looked at Queens and perceived us to be the desert. And they thought it was Queens, but they had a rude awakening.
Oh.
There wasn't nothing soft about Queens at all.
That's a fact.
So you guys are back in the days, and how many of you lived in the house?
4 of us, my 3 brothers and my mother. Then sometimes, our cousins, we didn't grow up like cousins. We all grew up like brothers and sisters. So at any given time, it could have been 7 of us in the house. But the majority of the time, it was just 4 of us.
And do you guys remember, so you said that single parent home. And
which is no excuse. No excuse.
Can you elaborate on that, please?
Because when you determine single parent, and Lance may mention that we took matters in our own hands as far as helping moms make ends meet to take care of the household and us, it's not an excuse, because we could all sit back and point our fingers in reference to the hand that was dealt to us. but we also know people who were much older than us that played a good hand, became somebody productive in the community and even in the world. So that drug life, it was a choice.
Knowingly and willingly. We made that choice.
We made the choice, and even though we really couldn't foresee the trials and tribulations that was to come with it, somewhere in the back of our psyche, we knew that somewhere along the line, something's going to happen. Like, No Edition said, sunny days. Everybody loved them. But when that total eclipse and that rain come, can you stand the rain?
Right.
And I can safely say, for the Fuertado brothers, it wasn't no rainstorm that was that strong that could break us, meaning we stood strong through the good, the bad, and indifference.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you guys, at a young age, you guys did see other opportunities to do something?
Not necessarily.
Stop the presses. Lance could have been the ball player. Period. Cut and dry.
I was a musician also. But the thing is, right, like subliminally, things were planted, right, into your mind. And, for minorities growing up, black, brown, growing up in the area, the dream was to have your own house with that white picket fence and your car in front. But back then, there was no such thing as rap. So cats wasn't making millions of dollars rapping. NBA players was not making millions of dollars.
Right.
Our leaders, our entrepreneurs, our scholars, our theologians, right? They wasn't CEOs. They wasn't, executive directors. They wasn't in charge of their own. Matter of fact, they were our teachers.
Yes.
So blacks didn't really, we had the mom and pop stores and things of that nature, but the most common job back then was a factory job.
So you guys are young.
Definitely.
Still young.
Definitely.
Mama love, yeah, helping y'all make it. Do you ever remember the first time you guys decided, like, who was the first one? Was it Tony? Who was the first one to get into the game or introduce y'all to the game at the time that you guys got into it?
You know what? So it was sort of like a family trait, because we had an uncle, may rest in peace. But even though it was like a negative influence, but that was our influence. That was our mentor. Back then, in those days, those times, in that era, we did what we did to make it. You know what I mean? And so he was considered to be one of the big, drug dealers. We didn't think it was drugs back then. We thought he was, loan shark or something like that.
Hold on, Lance. I love you, man. But one thing we're not gonna do, and I know your family. I told you, I know your daughters. They're beautiful people. I love them. But I'm not gonna allow you to just skip over your uncle and paraphrase. We don't do any paraphrase in here. Let's back up. Tell us who your uncle is. You want to play smooth over there with the shades on?
No. Remember, certain things we're not gonna talk about.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Certain things we're not gonna talk about.
So you can't say who the uncle is.
I'm not gonna say my uncle's name, but I can share what he did.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was a person who came in power. We all come to know him as Nicky Barnes. Nicky Barnes was a dope fiend. My uncle took the needle out of his arm and said, "Yo, you helping me make money? You can get money for yourself." So when Nicky Barnes took his fall, he told on everyone except my uncle. Everybody comes from somewhere. Nicky Barnes just didn't create himself.
Wow.
So as Lance may mention, it's not that. And this is an old saying that someone said on the picture on the television show before a movie. We didn't choose the game chose us because of history. And then, even though Lance doesn't claim Harlem, it's Harlem blood. Things that from what was materializing in Harlem trickled down to us in Queens, not that we planned it, but it was just there because it was in our blood because of the family ties and things that certain family members did in that day.
We just found out recently that Nicky Barnes passed away. He passed away in 2012, but they just talked about it recently. But that's an interesting thing. I mean, I heard that he was a dope fiend, and I definitely appreciate your message. I'm not going over the message. I think that the message is great. Me, I'm more of, this is the good guy. I'm more on the ignorant side. That's what thrills me.
Smart.
No, because I want to know, like, how do you guys know that story? Your uncle told you that he took the needle out of Nicky Barnes. You know, I mean, I heard he was a dope fiend.
Yeah.
But your uncle told you this story?
Well, I'm going to say it's impossible for us to fabricate. So we will only speak about facts.
Oh.
Because
I mean, we said that to you. Anything about us is no brags, it's just facts.
Yeah, and then one thing we understand, there's no future in front. And so we sit here and speak lies into the atmosphere. We're doing ourselves an injustice because of the following that we have in the good that we're doing.
And so you also got to keep in mind, you know, it's only but so much that we're going to share. You know what I'm saying? And I'm keeping it 100 for the viewers because, you know what I'm saying, I got love for Flip the Script. You know what I'm saying? And I got love for what y'all doing, man. We highly respect it. But we know people been trying to get our life story. We know this is a $30 million story and more. You know what I'm saying? So we're not just going to sit and freely give it away.
Oh.
We're not going to do
that. And this is not an indictment. This is not an indictment at all.
But your viewers will get some.
Towards you, brother, because we love you. But if you don't tell all, you keep people wondering and guessing. But if you give AOL, then somebody will tell your story before you could tell it because they think they know it all, traveling in the form of the assumption.
So we're going to give you some.
SOME.
Okay, so all right, so yeah, ping pong. All right, I got you. So all right, so Uncle was somebody to revere and look up to.
Definitely.
Yes.
And a lot of people may know who Uncle is, so I guess we'll find out later on. Cause I'm gonna find out now.
I tell you off the air.
Yeah. Okay. So Uncle was popping though. So what did you guys see Uncle do that made you say I want to get money with Uncle?
It's what the average kid sees when he see a drug dealer standing on the corner. He see him with the fly cars. He see him with his pockets is on swole. You know, all of the women is chasing behind him. He's fly. He's dressed nice and everything. And you saying, damn, I want that too. You know, because you can't get that working a factory job because back then, minimum wage was $1.75 or $1.65.
Wow.
So what are you going to get?
Exactly. And to put this out, without saying his name, of course, he was driving Mercedes when only white people drove Mercedes. That's volumes. That speaks volumes on who he was. Yeah.
So, did you guys go to him and say you want to get money, or he because usually uncles don't put or older people. Well, I don't know. Let me not say that, but usually they don't want the younger to go down there.
You know what it was? It's not that Lance, Tony, or myself sat down and came up with this magnificent plan that we're going to get into the drug game. It just happened. It just happened because of circumstances. And once we went into the game, of course, Unc and others said, "Hey, be mindful of X, Y, and Z, because if you bypass the Y is a very important letter, and Y is always a question that's not only seldom asked but always asked. So if you pass the Y, you're headed for destruction. Always check yourself before things.
You like that?
You wreck yourself. I'm listening. I mean, you talk a good one. I can see you talk a good one, man. I can see how you got some of the senators and people on your side, man. You talk a good one, man. And the representation. I see. I'm looking at things.
But you know what? The thing about us, we really don't do too much talking. We allow our actions to speak louder than our words.
I don't like that, G.
No,
but that's important.
So
that's
you heard Todd say, right? Y'all like to keep it real, flip the script, right?
Fact.
We like to keep it real. Real recognizes real. We don't front because we don't know how to front. And that's real talk.
And this is very important, right? See, I could sit here all day and tell you who I am. That's my hand patting myself on the back. But if somebody else tell you who we are, then you know it's validity to it.
Yeah,
And that's what
It's not what we said, it's what they said.
And that's normally the story with the Fuertados. Like, everything about us is documented. And it ain't just documented in all of the street magazines from Fed and Don Diva and Felon and all these different magazines. No, it's in the law books. It's documented.
Yeah, and our favorite word is, this is what the feds said. This is what they said. So if they say it,
You know what I'm saying? So, we don't want to flip the script on y'all, though.
Nah,
come on.
I'm listening. I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm gonna let y'all forget.
So speaking of the law and stuff, you guys changed some kind of law back in your time too, right?
Yeah.
Not to fast forward through, we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back to the.
We can go back and forth.
Okay,
man.
cool. But I forgot what it was. But I heard you guys changed some kind of law in the jail system or some kind of way.
Right. So
before we do forward, I'm gonna give you something. What I say about time when you're having good conversation. Let's keep it moving. There's no time barrier right now.
Okay.
Ooh, see, and he just opened it up for you.
He
just opened it up.
So go back and come back to that later on.
No,
what you want to do?
We can talk about that.
We riding in your car.
We going back and forth, man.
I'm in a Honda Civic now.
So the law we put in place is a supervised release issue, right? And the way it was originally structured, right? Supervised release could be a life-threatening situation because you can come home from federal prison and you can be on 5 years supervised release. You could be home for 4 years and you can violate on that 4th year. And that judge could put you back in the jail up to 5 years. And when you come home again, you start the whole 5 years over. And that can continuously happen.
For the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life. So it becomes a life-threatening situation. So what we had a hearing on it, and we said that, brought it up to the judge, like, listen, that is a life-threatening situation, and the issue, kind of went in our way, in our favor.
Yeah.
And set precedents.
And it's a double sentence because
it's double jeopardy, really.
What happens in court is documented. So just like, let's just say, for instance, without anything being told, y'all just tired of the fight. So you say, hey, instead of me trying to give you 100 years, take this 17 years. I'll give me 17 years. So when you sign on that paper, nothing that's not on that paper does not exist. Supervised release come after that paper. With that paper is a binding contract in the court of law. So when they add supervised release,
they broke the contract.
That's illegal.
So now whoever wants to preserve their rights, they can go to F.D.S, Book 191, page 420, and read Fuertado versus the U.S., and it will help them.
It's called The Keys to Justice.
Wow.
So, that's, listen.
Yeah.
Please, let's not show off here. Let's not show off.
No. We said no brags, just facts.
And then the thing is,
no brags.
I'm glad that we shared that because there's a lot of people going through that situation today because they're afraid of the 100 years and they give up the fight. But when you give up the fight, you give up your rights. And see, in order you to pertain your rights, you challenge the sentence. Once you challenge the sentence, that opens the doors to the courtroom back open for you. A lot of people don't realize that. And then that allows you to fight certain issues that you had a hard time getting in court.
And so one of the reasons why we took that stand, we lovers of people. We love our people. Not just ourselves. We love everybody, our people, right? And we don't want to see nobody sell their soul. You know what I mean by that? So, exactly. We made our choices knowingly and willingly, right? And so we hold that water. That's us.
Right.
We didn't compromise ourselves. We didn't sell out. We were facing 3 life sentences. You know what I mean? And, I say sometimes like we're not supposed to be here because we were facing 3 life sentences. But in retrospect, we're supposed to be here. Because God had a plan and a purpose for our life. We just didn't know it.
That's you powerful words. Let's back up a little bit now.
Come on back. Come on.
So, very, 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 very powerful words, though. Inspirational, and I can see that why you guys, the youths, would be. I could see them gravitating and understanding, and listening because the way you talk you're talking to my soul a little bit. But me. I have another soul that's pushing out the talk, so to get me back into reality. So
come on with it.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. So I'm joking. Come on. What school did y'all go to?
Wow. Okay. So
every school except mine.
That's what I was about to say. Every school except mine.
That's the slickest talk. Yeah, man.
They got one more, man.
Yo, I'm telling you. So we public school. We went to PS 50.
Okay.
Right. That was located right off of Liberty Avenue and Sufton Boulevard, kind of sort of right there. And junior high school, we went to IS 72.
I went to 72.
Right? And then from there, I went to Bayside High, so I went to Cardozo. But we went up to the school. We went to everybody else's school. I went to John Brown. I went to Jackson. I went to Springfield. You know what I'm saying? I went to John Adams.
And see, one of the things, and I'm glad we're touching on that, see, because I will openly and freely say the reason why myself was making moves like that because I thought I knew it all. And anytime you think that you're in a position that you know it all, that's a recipe for disaster. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm quite sure we'll tap in on that also. Because that's a very big, major part of our lives, which was being incarcerated because we was caught up in the spear of me, myself, and I.
So if you can gather, right, most of our dealings today, we deal with awareness. We bring awareness to our people. Right. Because we could sit here on some buffoonery and we can, glorify our past history. Not to disrespect anybody, because we got love for everybody, and we don't forget where we came from, because had we not come from there, we wouldn't be the people that we are, right? And people described us as gangster back then, right? But when we start talking about what we're doing today is more gangster than we ever could have been. Yeah. But we'll get into that.
I agree.
We'll get into that.
And one of the things, and you have a beautiful title, because one of the things that we truly are doing in life itself is flipping the script. Because it was a plan that's set for our people, and we walk into this trap because we don't believe that stink until it smashes us in the face. But if I've been through the stink, and I'm telling you, you don't have to use your nose. Look at mine. Utilize it, because that's what we're supposed to do. Like, if we made it through the trials and tribulations, how could we not reach back? If we don't reach back, every hand that we miss and not grab, that's on us, and we have to own it. That's why it's very important that, like Lance may mention, the easiest thing to do is sit down and talk about the thousands of keys that were sold, the millions of dollars that was made, the trips, go anywhere you want to go on earth, do whatever you want to do at any given time. See, but at the end of the day, you have people that sit back and say, yo, I like that. Oh, I'll give up 10 years of my life for that. And not realizing that to give up one day of your life is idiotic.
Exactly. Your freedom.
Nothing's more important.
Nothing is more important than that. You know what I'm saying? We could have easily came home and picked right back up where we left off from. Easily. You know what I'm saying? But then we sat back and we realized with the awakening that we had, the devastation that we did to our community, not just our community, in 23 different states. You know what I'm saying? So we give you a little jewels here and there. I see you over there.
No.
So
because when you make statements like that, it sort of defeats the questions that's coming up. But
but we can always backtrack.
But it's a beautiful thing, because I'm talking about for me, because it's inspirational that you guys are able to come home and make a difference. I've been hearing your names for a long time, not only from G Money, but just as far as what you do for the community. I see you guys on the front line, and that means a lot. You know what I mean? And it's just a wonderful thing. All jokes aside, I know I crack jokes and stuff, but it's really wonderful hearing you guys talk about it, so I get caught. See, right now I'm listening, and in my mind, my question is here. But then it's what you're saying is pushing my question back, so I have to come back to it, so I may smile and stuff like that. But I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and we'll answer the questions before you even kind of get to them.
Exactly. Yeah. You know that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
And like normally, right? So let's just live up to the name of the show. Flip the script. Y'all gonna do something different than y'all normally did. We're gonna kick some real. Don't check it. We're gonna kick some real knowledge. We're gonna kick some information out there for the youth. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of shit going on. Our women is being snatched. There's a lot of things happening. Yeah. Our kids are not learning. You know what I'm saying? They're locking up our kids. They're killing each other at a high time rate. You know what I'm saying? So this is some of the stuff that we feel, should kind of go out there today, and kind of touch some hearts, touch some souls, and let's wake our people up and have them understand that there is greatness in you. There is greatness. And that's one of the reasons why we share some of our story and let you know. And I started off by saying 11, 12, and 13. We was in the streets for 11, 12, and 13 years of age. We had a 25-plus year run. That is unheard of. All we knew was the streets.
Yes.
We were facing 3 life sentences. I did 10 years. Todd did 8 years. My other brother did 15 and some change. We are not supposed to be here, but God had a plan for us. And it is to right the wrong, right? To break that chain of destruction, to close that black hole that we opened. Because it was there, but when we came, we took things to a different level.
Yes.
We took things to a different level. So now it's not about, some cats sitting up here, you know what I'm saying, and all of the young brothers sitting there going, oh, wow, really? Oh, wow, really? No, we're saying, yo, this is what's going on, man. If you don't know about the prison industrial complex, if you don't know about the business of incarceration, because it is a business, if you don't know about how important it is to understand your value, your worth, if you don't know your worth, shame on you, because somebody else knows your worth and they're going to use you for their gain.
Exactly.
So that's why we like to do awareness and wake our people up, man, because we're losing. We're losing, man.
We're losing from the beginning, because now I'm going to go back before you take me there. Now we're going to talk about the drug world.
Mm-hmm.
Drugs was planted in our communities to destroy us, but we so smart, right? We flipped the script, or at least we thought we did. We thought we flipped the script by not using, but by selling. But we still selling to our people. So the drug is still doing what it was designed to do. So now if the drug is destroying not by the powers that be hand, it's destroying by our hand. So as Lance just made mention, we're no longer stuck on stupid. And I'll say that freely. So now if we're traveling in our right state of mind, we did our time in prison. We paid our debt
Our
to
soul
the law
is intact, too.
to the law enforcement.
All right.
But our community and abroad, we was in 23 different states. And our community and abroad, we owe them, because they heard the stories too. And everybody wants to be like somebody. But what we're saying to you is, don't be like who we used to be. Follow us today, because we're headed in the right direction. And maybe we can't help you, but we could definitely help your child, because they're the future. They truly are the future. And if we turn our backs on any child, we are distorting the future for generations to come.
And anything and everything that took place back then was just a form of genocide. Whether you put the dope in the next man's hand, or you pulled the trigger, or you stood in front of that man with the black dress on and said, we did it. It was a form of genocide. So we had to crash all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we hard body right now in Rikers Island, man. And we're working with the youth, man, from 17 to 20. And yo, these kids, man, is getting hit with 50 and 60 years, man. There's no return for that, man. And when you lay somebody down, there is no, yo, man, pardon me, I'm sorry, man, excuse me. How do you make amends? You know what I'm saying? Yo, you brothers got a great platform, man. I commend y'all. I salute y'all, man. I appreciate Flip the Script. That's why we here. And so we want to use this platform righteously. You know what I'm saying? For one day, just use it righteously. And let's get a message out there to all of y'all viewers, all of y'all listeners, because we know y'all got millions of them.
Yeah.
We know you got millions of them.
Appreciate that.
So it's about, cats out in the world flipping the script. That same ingenuity that you use, right, to come up with schemes, right, and to come up with hustles and gimmicks, right? You could use that same ingenuity, right, to come up with something positive, right, and turn it into $1 million business. If we go back and look back at Damon John, right, when he started FUBU, that was just a vision that started with a hat. That LL took and flipped the hat, then it was a vision. We look back at Russell Simmons, and these are cats that come up in our era. We took the fast track. They took the slow road. Right? 15, 20, 25 years later, other cats that took that road is back at scratch, and those brothers that took the slow road, they living the life of rally.
Yeah.
They living the life of rally. So if anything, I'm going to promote, right, educating, motivating, uplifting, and inspiring our future leaders to be all that they can be, despite the elements that continuously surround them. Because there's somebody out there waiting to make money off of your value that you don't know you have.
Yeah.
So you brothers know y'all have it, right? And like you said, G Money got them coming. So now it's time to utilize it
And share
and
the
pick
wealth.
up those advertisements, pick up those sponsors.
G-money.
You know what I'm saying? And let's turn this into something magnificent.
Yeah. And everything being for real, even if we was to sit here and talk about the thousands,
Which
but
it was.
every word or every question that you ask, I'm telling you, we could take it and flip it to a positive because our kids need to know. They need to know the truth about where they headed, the plan that was set before them. The plan has been in place for a long time. We just make it easy because we so smart, we know it all.
Right.
We want to beat the man. Oh, no, we want the hookup. So when we get that mentality, the hookup means you cutting corners. It's the red tape there that's supposed to slow you down, but we're cutting the red tape and we getting the hookup. And everything that glamorized, shines in its beauty doesn't mean it's for you. And every phone call, every phone that ring doesn't mean it needs to be answered.
So when you sit and listen to us now, there's not nothing new for us. Even in that old life, we was perceived to be the Robin Hood of the game. We took care of our community. We fed over 500 families, not individuals, families, ate because of us. Even though we was doing something negative, we tried to turn it into a positive. So, you know, when cats and folks look at us now and they say, wow, no, this was always us.
So what made you guys stop selling the drugs and the heroin and everything you guys are selling back then?
It's nothing about scared straight or nothing like that, because we are who we are. We cut from that cloth and there's nothing could be done about it. But like I said, we sat back and we realized we kind of knew about the state law. We really didn't know about federal law. And we didn't know that they would go to any extent to get an indictment, right? And to put your ass away for life. And they mean it, for life, right? And we said, you know what? There's no way we could go home the same way we came in here. We have to go out and give people more of a choice, because we felt we didn't have a choice. That's why I said we made our choices knowingly and willingly,
Right.
but they're choices, right? And we said we need to go out here, talk to these young kids, talk to our future leaders, and let them know that they're choices, right? And then once you make a choice, whether good or bad, there are consequences. And after consequences, there's something at stake. And so that's what we said, like, hold on, what can we do differently? Now, mind you, when we came home, we said, you know what? We want to tell our life story. We wanted to tell our life story. And we said, okay, what are the roads to take to get to that point to tell our story by a form of a movie? And it was brought to our attention that you do a book or you do a documentary. We chose the later. We did a documentary titled King of Kings, which set precedents. You know, it was dubbed the most informative documentary of the year. We won several awards on it. It is easily estimated that there's at least 7 to 8 million homes across the nation that has our documentary in it. And it's due to the fact of bootlegging, which is okay. You know what I'm saying? But we wanted to bring about some type of awareness. And it just didn't start when we came home. So while I was doing federal time, I was a GED tutor. I was responsible for helping over 75 inmates get their GED.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So this ain't something that we just decided when we came home. Nah, we made that decision while we was there. And
Did something happen? Not to cut you off. Did something happen in prison that made you really give you that decision, or was just one day you kind of just clicked?
No. You really want to know what happened? So I'm gonna tell you what happened. I met and fell in love with my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
That's what happened. Had nothing to do with scared straight, nothing like that.
Right.
And then you have to come to the realization that just because you're in a facility and it has the title correctional, that doesn't make it so. So either you have the opportunity to change the way you think, walk, and speak, or you're just going to be the same idiot that came in that's going to go home and you're going to do the same thing because you came up with a better plan, a different way to do. But we all know this here, right? There's no right way to do wrong. Wrong is wrong. So at the end of the day, you're going to be part of that thing called recidivism. And that recidivism ain't nothing but a revolving door. And you would spend your life doing it. So you had to make a conscious decision. And those who are listening and you have family members that's incarcerated, You tell them that's the beginning of their life right where they at. You don't wait till you come home to say, I'm going to do something different. Do it now. You got to change the way you think because the slick people only out-slick themselves. And I just want to back up for 1 second. As Lance mentioned, he was a GED teacher. And where I was in Petersburg, Virginia, FCI, they had me not a GED tutor, and I got offended because they had me working with, you ever heard the term SNL? For older men, they called them slow in learning, and I got offended by that. So I would never sit down and act like I knew something that they didn't know. If there was a word called CAT, we're going to go in the dictionary together and find it. So you don't see me as me thinking I'm something that I'm not. And I'm never going to point my finger in your face because when my finger's in your face, I got to realize even looking right now, I got 3 pointing back at me. And that's so real because 3 is always stronger than 1. That's real. And you hear a lot of people say it because it sounds good. But if you allow it to be your reality, then you're going to always check yourself.
And so in reality, like Todd said, we got love for everybody. There's no disrespect to nobody or what we saying. You know, rep what you rep, whole 9. You know, all we say is choices, consequences, what's at stake.
What's at stake?
Choices, consequences, what's at stake. We got love for everybody. We're not here to tell nobody what to do or how to do it. All we want to do is appeal to your intellect, give you something to think about, make you say, so you can make the right choice. That's it. Because we're not going to deny where we come from. We come from the gutter. We survived the struggle. We came straight from the belly of the beast. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
All right. Can I ask some questions?
Sure you can.
Of course.
All right. That was one. Second question. So you guys pick up from what I left off in my mind. You guys, helped Mama Love out. Yeah, moving and shaking. Yeah, joined the 7 Crowns, which was a youth gang.
Joined the 7 Crowns first.
Joined the 7 Crowns first, and then, the 7 Crowns, which was a gang in Queens, and, you composed of a lot of members by the time y'all joined it. It was
Excuse me.
compelled with a lot of youth at the time, or were you the youngest in there, or was it?
Well, at that time, everybody was kids.
Got it.
Everybody.
So you joined the 7 Crowns, and now you're moving and shaking.
Actually, it was called Youth Gang.
Okay.
7 Crowns was a youth gang.
Yes. And you're moving and shaking, right?
Somewhat.
So let me ask a question.
Come on, man.
No, because you guys try to I'm sorry, man. Like, what?
But ask it. Come on.
So you moving and shaking. Then I see that. I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. You guys are moving and shaking. The first thing that they said that you guys had, or by reading, is cocaine. You know what I mean? As far as in my opinion of what I read, you guys were the connect, as we can say. Do you guys remember, that, yeah, sure, that rise to power as far as becoming the connect?
No,
it just
don't breathe. Gradually happened.
Don't breathe heavy.
The first thing was weed. It was trees. And we're selling pounds and pounds of weed. And cocaine was last. That was secondary. It was dope. Yeah, we was the connects.
You was connects, yes. I read that.
We wasn't your average stand on the corner. No, we was the connects.
But and we're gonna save it for the story for the movie. So let me skip, because I want to know, me personally, but I guess I gotta wait till the movie. I want to know how you guys became a connect. You know what I mean? I mean, how you guys become a connect?
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Oh.
No, so now, like when you think about it, right?
Yo, chill out.
And I'm gonna give it to you.
It's
So
there.
everything in this life, right, is all centered and built around who you know.
Yes.
Who you know. And so coming up where we came from, originally from Harlem, it was so many different major players that cats and folks don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying?
I heard about that.
And then it just, transferred from there to overseas or whatever.
So when did Black rain come in. Okay. See, oh well. I also heard that can we talk about your uncle who was? They said that he was a detective. We can't talk about him neither.
Oh, no, his life has totally changed.
So he's not a detective. Of course,
No, he's not a detective anymore.
Of course, he's not a detective, but he was a detective, and he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you know me, man.
So when you go back to like what they described to be the old days, back then police wasn't making no money, and they had families to take care of also, and they grew up with friends and family and extended family too. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
So back in them days, I think to pay for a cop, for a New York City police officer back then, might have been something like $9,000 a year or something.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, it was like crazy. So, that's like
$9,000 a year.
You know how many friends that grew up with us, right? That went into the military, went into corrections, or chose a different path, but they knew us. They grew up with us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And somewhere along the line, everybody needs help sometimes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so, like, yo, that's my homie. That's my brother. We grew up together. He's doing what he's doing. I'm over here. But damn it, I need to hit a number.
I understand.
And that's like hitting a lick.
And it's, as far as my uncle, it's not that he had the mindset that he was going to become part of what the family is doing, because remember, we're his nephews. We're doing what we're doing.
Anyway.
And we're not going to stop. So as an uncle who loves you, he's going to say, well, listen, you're doing wrong. There's no right way to do wrong, but I want y'all to be all right. So maybe my presence can make you think a little more, not realizing that, the power of persuasion overlapped. And instead of him pulling us out, he fell in. And that hurts us till this day, because that's our uncle. He lost his livelihood. And even backtracking for the names that was associated with us in that life, it hurts us till this day. Because they truly were associated with us, and a lot of them got their first pack from one or the other. So, yeah, we could look at it and say, you know what? Everyone made millions of dollars, but the end result, people are spending lifetimes in prison. So I can honestly say, if I ever wanted to do anything over in my life, not the way I lived my life, but the way I affected other people, and if it was in a negative way, I would love the opportunity to try to flip that around. Oh, pardon me, flip the script.
When do you remember the time? Did you guys feel? Because a lot of people sometimes, when things are closing in, did you guys feel that things were closing in on you guys?
Yeah, we always knew like our peers, our family, our extended family. They said, man, you dudes is paranoid. Every time we turn around, y'all paranoid. You always say, somebody following you, somebody this. But we was right. So there was always some type of investigation on the Fuertado family as far back as 1979. There was always some type of investigation, just didn't unfold into 95. Yeah, so we always kind of knew, and like I said earlier, we knew about the state laws, we didn't know about federal law, so we knew how to move, We knew the phone, y'all that's viewing, y'all that's watching, we knew the phone, right, was trouble. Stay off the phones, man. You know what I'm saying? We had codes, we developed different things. So yeah, we knew.
I have a question. So you said earlier, sorry, you said earlier you guys were, at first your intentions was to do it to, to get money, to take care of Mama Love and get things you didn't,
not take care of her.
Well,
help her
out.
Take care of us. Remember, we were still kids.
Still kids, yeah. Still kids. So at any point did you guys feel like, all right, we got enough money now, we can stop? Or
so that's what I spoke on that too. It quickly changed from us helping make ends meet to we became lovers of money. Just imagine when you're at the age of 19 and you're a millionaire. It changes.
It was like that crack, when Pookie said that crack kept calling him. When you become a lover of something other than yourself, which was money, you keep chasing and you find justification. You find that which is called the good reason. My man can't pay his rent. So-and-so need this. So-and-so need that. So you find reason to keep going. So when it's all said and done, you can sit back and say, you know what? If we did nothing right, at least we did the best we could to make sure everybody was all right. Even if we wasn't at the end of the day, we made sure everybody was all right.
I mean, what were you guys into at the time though? Like, was it cars? Was it homes? Was it investments?
We was investors. Yeah, like we wasn't flamboyant. Okay. We had, like I always had 7 to 8 cars. But I always drove my Seville or something. You never saw the Porsches, the BMs, or nothing like that. We had all that. We had all of the jewels. We knew about VVS diamonds way back then. You know what I'm saying? Back then, we was popping Cristal in 79. Nobody knew nothing about that. So we knew about the finer things in lives. We just wasn't flamboyant with it. That wasn't us, Queens was always like laid back. It kind of changed in like 82, 83, but we was always low-keyed, mild-mannered. We was mellow, We wasn't flashy.
You remember the uncle I told you that took the needle out of somebody's arm?
Yes.
One thing he always said, never be a green thumb.
Never stand out.
Never be a green thumb because you tell on yourself. You don't have to worry about nobody telling on you because you're telling on yourself. So, as Lance may mention, low-key life to the fullest. And it was okay. It was okay because a lot of people who came after us, didn't last because.
And you guys saw that. You saw it happening. You see them being flashy and flamboyant. You see them going down, and you knew not to go that route.
You heard about it. If you heard about it, we saw it.
Right.
I heard a story before. I don't know. I don't have my.
Not true. I'm just messing.
I heard a story before. It's okay. I heard a story before about a lion statue. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I said this off camera. You can stop shaking your head. You already did this already. I already had to stop asking the question out of respect for you. You went like this. You shut it down, and I'm not taking it out. They're gonna see. Like, I don't want to talk about that. But I asked a question about the lion statue. I heard about it, man. Could y'all just tell me about the lion statue?
I wish you could tell us about it.
Somebody had a lion statue in front of their house. Ooh. Oh, my God.
You know what?
Don't let me stay in my corner, bro.
No, I don't want you in the corner. But we all saw the Wizard of Oz. I'm just telling you about the lion. I said that to say the gold, to everyone that's listening.
Let me know when I can go.
The gold statue of the lion is not true. That's called being stupid. Just being real.
So none of the family had
no gold.
Blocks of gold, like the gold you see in Fort Knox, gold like that, but no statue of gold. That's like that. Just being.
But you
real.
heard about the story about somebody said that.
Just now.
Somebody said that they didn't see they saw a lion statue in front of the Fuertado brothers' house in Queens. That's exactly what was said.
So check it.
That's what I heard.
So now we gave you somewhat of an idea, right, of how we lived, how we grew up, mild-mannered, low-key.
Oh, I got it.
Picture somebody just knowing where we live like that.
And then there's a statue in front of the house. Listen, I'm not gonna say his name, but we was on tour with this beautiful gentleman. We did a 6-day tour speaking to the youth around the world, right? Mm-hmm. And one of his favorite words was what? Lies. More lies.
Because it was somebody that was with us on this tour, right? And for some reason, he just kind of felt that he had to live up to something. We don't know. We was like, if you cut from a certain cloth, that's what you come from.
It speaks for itself.
Right. Yeah. It's going to speak volumes. But every time he opened his mouth, he lied. And this gentleman would just look at him while we was on stage and go, lies.
More lies.
So the statue is out here.
It's out of here. It's a lie.
All right, but you guys were in the cars and stuff, or you was, but
all of us.
Nobody saw it, and
no, they seen it here and there, but it wasn't an everyday thing.
But basically, the point of the matter is, you guys were the connect. No matter how you said it, no matter how you slice it and dice it, you guys were the connect. So mysterious way, you guys became the connect, which you supplied the people, and in turn was affecting the community. Yes, because
Yeah.
there's always a positive. From you always there was a negative. Not say we're not glorifying.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you did by becoming the connect, you still was affecting the community.
Tore it out the frame.
Okay. Do you remember how you met some of the popular guys, or you don't want to talk about the popular guys?
Together.
So give you an example. You saw that movie Once Upon a Time in America?
No.
You didn't see that movie?
No, I gotta watch. I gotta look at it.
You have to, yes.
So yeah, you got to watch that. So that was like 4 kids that grew up together, and they organized into a major, organization. So a lot of the guys, we all grew up together.
Before money.
When money had nothing to do with it.
Come on, Supreme, Fat Cat,
We all grew up together.
Yeah.
Coley,
So all of us.
everybody, yeah.
Yeah. Preem and them was a little younger, but Cat and all of us, we all lived on the same block. Preem and all of them went to school with us, under us. So we all come together.
Can I ask a question? I don't know. A lot of people that come up here, they mention this guy. Well, a lot of Queens guys, they mention him. You guys knew Ronnie Bump?
Of course.
Of course.
What type of guy was he back then?
A gentleman.
Yeah.
Yo, man. Oh,
There we go.
No,
man.
Don't go to the corner.
Gee, talk to your man, yo.
Come back. That's all right, man.
Listen,
Don't worry,
real
man.
talk.
Man.
He's a gentleman,
He
man.
was a gentleman.
Stop. Oh.
You
So, hold
don't
on.
think so?
Let me ask you a question.
He's cool. I
Let
know
me
I'm
ask you a
boy.
question. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard the term
Excuse me.
real gangsters move in silence?
Oh.
Have you heard that term? So he was a gentleman.
Was he around your age or he's older?
No, he's older.
Older.
Ronnie's older.
Ronnie Bump was who anyone ever said who Ronnie Bump was, that's who he was. But he was good people. Like, there's really no honor amongst thieves, but in that bunch, you find some good people. Even though you living wrong, you polluting the community, there's something good about you, and he was a good brother.
Respect.
Period. Good brother. And I'm just going to throw this in the air. Not only good, very powerful, because he came from Pop Freeman. Pop Freeman was part of the 5 families in Harlem. That's where Ronnie Bump come from. Very good people.
Good people. A gentleman.
Told you something you didn't even know.
I mean, the way you guys answer questions is very, very, very. I mean, we can tell you guys do a lot of speaking engagements and stuff and talking and stuff like that. And, you guys get out the corner well. You get out the corner well. But I have to be able to corner you guys where there's no cracks or any slips. I got to be able to trap you in a corner. So he was a good gentleman. He was a nice gentleman.
Good dude. No, but listen.
One
Anybody
thing,
that's a gentleman, you don't want to cross him.
yeah, and then one
So that
thing,
speaks for itself.
one thing we couldn't do, even though Cat, Preem, and whoever was a part of them come from us, there's no way we could sit back and talk about their life and the things they did. Regardless, despite them being locked up, and whatever the world may know, for us to reiterate it, that's a form of, so what?
Keeping our soul intact.
Exactly.
Certain stuff we're not going to talk about.
Yeah, because we don't have the right to. But we could talk about us all day.
But when it's come to talking about y'all, you're not really talking about y'all. You guys are spreading the messages.
You didn't cut the check.
Exactly. And it's about and I
I'll
definitely
just
respect
joke
it.
with you,
No,
man.
I respect it. No, I understand. You said that this. I heard something in a documentary. I'm telling you, and he said, "Yo, I you knew these brothers. I heard it. You knew these brothers were getting money because they had a statue in front of their house but it was a lie, man.
Yeah.
They just wanted to throw you under
Not
the
true.
bus.
It's not
More
true.
lies.
It's not true.
Lies.
What I
and more
can
lies.
tell you, we was by appointment only.
Ooh.
One
What
thing,
was the most flashiest thing that you guys did then?
The most flashiest thing?
Good one.
Okay, I'll give you one. Good one, right? I'm going to give you one. It was a big fight taking place in Vegas. Our crew was about 92 members strong. We took everybody to Vegas to the fight. And we brought one whole floor to the hotel, and we had the whole floor, and we just took over everything.
you forgot one thing.
Uh-oh.
It was 2 fights.
Yeah,
So
actually
we went
was.
on 2 occasions.
Yeah.
That's called love. And that was one of the flashy things we did, because at the end of the day, how many people lived a life of getting money but never been across the street because they were so stuck to the block? Something that they didn't own, because if Mr. Policeman come and say, let me get that corner, you got to give it up or you're going to go to jail.
And when I say we took them, they didn't pay for nothing. They didn't take nothing out their pocket.
Air flight, hotel fee, money to
Everything,
gamble with.
we took them.
Money to go to the fight, everything.
And I'm gonna ask an honest question. Did you guys ever have any problems with people?
You know what? Okay, let me ask you a question.
Not
Flip the script.
I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to answer your
Don't go to the
question.
corner again, man.
I'm going to answer your question. But I'm going to ask you one real quick. Who has the most power? A person that's feared, a person that has money, or a person that's loved?
my person that's loved, in my opinion.
There you go.
There you go. You just answered the question. We were so loved, we didn't have a problem.
So nobody tried to rob you guys or try to do anything
No.
funny?
Someone tried to kidnap me. Just
No,
keep
it's
it
real
real.
talk. It's
Someone
real
tried
talk.
to kidnap me, and they almost got my wife then and my son. But only by the grace, if I could use this term today, only by the grace of God, Lance remembered what their car looked like, and he prevented it from happening. So yes, things like that did happen. We was a great place for a stick-up.
Lance don't
Once.
want Lance don't want
Only once.
Lance don't want to talk about the Lance.
He
is
said,
going-
yo,
Only
hold up.
once.
Lance, you're good. You're good. You ain't better than me, Lance. You ain't, I'm learning
But you
from you.
answered the question.
Catch what he's saying. It happened once. Only once.
But how can? I know you ain't gonna.
So, but remember,
Wait,
I
stop,
described
Lance.
to
Let
you-
me,
No,
let me
I'm
rock.
giving it to
Let me
you.
live. How can an almost kidnapping happen? You can't talk about that, or you would have said that for the story.
No, you can't talk about stuff like that.
I don't want to know who did it. I just want to know how it almost
But
happened.
there's statutory time limits on everything. You can't.
Oh,
so
oh.
listen, when y'all interviewing, this is what y'all got to be mindful of. When you're interviewing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, just no disrespect to none of the other
The
people that
fellas got it,
sat on
respect.
this couch or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be mindful of what you're saying and what you're putting out in the atmosphere.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? So again, we're here to uplift and motivate.
Oh,
We're not going to listen. We're not going to give no glorification to that past life.
What I would say about the kidnapping, Lance knew what the car was, and as he dropped my wife and child off, he saw the car coming up, and he backed up and snatched my wife and my son in. And we just leave it at that. But yes, things like that happen. People got kidnapped because they thought the person was me, because I was more visible than
There are
Lance
wolves.
and Tony.
There are wolves everywhere.
Of course.
but Lance, hold
Yes,
on.
come on.
You're saying that statute of limitation, right?
Yes.
Statute of limitation doesn't. It would have passed by now. No.
Certain things doesn't have statute of limitation.
Except for only murder and what else? Kidnapping, I think. I think those are the two main ones. What else?
And now rape.
Oh.
There's a lot of different things that there's no statute.
And not saying that we was affiliated with any of that, but
You're just saying that, yeah.
yeah, it's
So
for those
you
who are
guys
listening.
honor this code, this unspoken code of things, right? You honor them. Did you ever try to, back in the day, speak to the guys that were under you, or you realized this, like G Money asked earlier, when you went to prison and you found the Lord and Savior? Were you always this conscious?
We was always this conscious, right? But we was more conscious about that money. So we was like speaking Jews on them then, like, nah, you don't move like
Yeah.
this, you move like that. You
But
do
why
it
they
like
say y'all
this.
was making millions a week?
That's what they said.
I did share with you that we were millionaires at the age of 19.
How you know you were millionaires at the age of 19? What makes you know? How do you know?
I know how to count.
So you're not gonna tell us. So we have to watch the
gotta
we have to watch the movie in order to know like how you met the connect and all that stuff. We gotta watch the movie.
No, but see, but all in reality, no. See, but all in reality, all the questions that you're asking, you got the answers to them already.
So it doesn't matter.
From us sitting on this couch, we gave you the answers to it. To everything that you asked, we gave you the answers to it.
Yo, G, chill. Take me to them, G.
I've been holding back for a while, man. I got one more, bro.
Uh,
No,
Oh, G, come on, G. Look at that, G.
I know these
Hey,
guys are.
You have the answers of how we met our connect. You have the answers. How? How do I have the answers?
When you watch this,
I just see
say-
something about Colombia. That's all. Yeah. Look.
African,
Do your
But you
thing.
know what?
African
If you
African
go,
also.
no, check it. Now
African
we gave you something. We
He said
said
no.
we said everything was documented. We gave that to you. We
You
said
did
it's
say that.
documented.
You did say that.
So when you do the research, it's there. It's documented, and it's documented in the federal law books. It's documented. So we don't have to talk about it. So that's one thing about
respect
us.
that.
When I say, like on the real side, you know, when we say, you know, real men do real things, you know what I'm saying? And anything about us is no brags, it's just facts. It's facts. But we're not going to sit here and glorify it. We're not going to give the kids, the youth, our future leaders that's sitting here watching and listening, we're not going to give them a roadmap to destruction.
Amen.
We're not going to do that.
It's not in our spirit to do that.
Because then that happened on my watch. And how can I sleep at night knowing that some kid tried and took what I said and said, oh, that's how they did it? Let me see if I can do it. And now they no longer here with us. That's on my conscience.
I understand.
You know, and we already made mention that we lovers of people, of all of our people.
And see,
it.
the beauty of this whole conversation is when this is viewed by the world, you will see that every question that you ask, that you got the answer. It might not have been the answer you was looking for, but you got a good.
He's just so used
answer.
to picking people. You know what I'm saying? He's so used to picking people apart.
Listen.
And that's how you get people sitting there, right, and exaggerating,
And start
over-exaggerating the point.
fabricating,
And be like,
and telling
really?
the untruth because now they want to hype it. And my thing is, be who you are. Ain't no future in front. Be who you are. The most important words you can use in your lifetime is "I am." Hold up, because what you place behind "I am" shapes your reality.
That's very powerful.
See, I told you.
G.
We make you say.
They cool, man.
Oh, G, they're not cool. G, they're not cool, man.
Cool, man.
No, man.
I waited for a while,
G,
man.
they're not cool. They're not telling us nothing, bro.
No, we are.
You are.
We are.
You are.
We're giving you a lot of jewels, and
No, you are.
right.
And
So
a
I
wealth
did
of
kind of
information.
mention, right, and you know, like not to keep throwing it out there because we love the show, man. But the name, we really flip the script. That is us.
No, I love that.
Scrippers.
Can I ask one last question? before
No,
we
we
move
got
on
you.
to-
We here for a minute. Ask some more.
So
Unless you tired of us and you want
no. You guys not gonna outbox me. No. I asked earlier, did you guys feel that things were coming down? Do you remember? Are you able to share where you guys were at when you guys got incarcerated? Are you able to share that?
Definitely.
Do you remember that day?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
They rolled on me like New York undercover.
Where were you?
I was in South Jamaica, Queens, on my way, right? So we can mention it now because it's all over with. I was on my way. If they would have just waited, they would have been like jackpot, you know? And I was on my way to a meeting, and I'm actually walking down the street to get in my car, and it's like they came out from under cars, out the bushes. They came from everywhere.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was kind of like what's going on today. I think they really wanted to shoot me. They was just move for me. And I was like, man, do your job. You know?
Where were you?
I was in Virginia. See, I love to tell this story. See, because someone who I thought was a buddy of mine, my right-hand man, I put him on the bus to come to New York to pick up something. And as the bus was coming back to Virginia, the bus got stopped. And when the bus got stopped, he told AOL. But he forgot how to get to my house because I just moved in it. I moved in the house September 1st. I went to prison September 13th. I was only there for 13 days. So when the feds finally came, the U.S. Marshal finally came, realized where the house was, they told me point blank. They said, yo, the information that your partner gave me threw us for a loop.
Wow.
But we got our man. So I said, now that you got your man, you have to go nowhere else in the house. Let's go. Because there was people in my house. no one's gonna ever go to jail for something I did. So I said no. I said
That's what I mean by soul intact.
you have your man. Let's get out of here. Take me. If I'm going to jail, let's go to jail. I had guests. They had nothing to do with anything. As far as I'm concerned, they had nothing to do with nothing. You got your man, but they clearly told me, your man who you sent to New York, you put on the bus. Oh, he told us everything.
And it was simultaneously. They made a nationwide sweep on 32 of us.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
So do you think people were telling?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
One of you guys were hard to catch,
Yeah.
which was Anthony, yes?
Yeah.
He changed his name.
1,000 of them.
Yeah,
We all had different names.
you thought I didn't know that, huh? I tried to. Yeah. You thought I didn't know Tony changed his name and stuff?
We all had different names.
So what round are we in? The 7th? Because I didn't fall yet.
No, you're doing good.
Well, he changed his name a lot. He got caught. He got caught in L.A., right?
In L.A.
Yeah.
Car rental stuff and all that, leasing car. Yeah. Oh yeah. Flip nose.
The real ghost.
See, but
The real ghost.
the
I heard.
You know what? He hit it on the head. The real ghost, and that's not a subliminal statement.
I like
The real ghost.
Oh, it's facts.
But let me just share this with you. See, because the fight we're having, this ain't nothing but love punches, so ain't nobody gonna go down.
No, that's mental. Some people, some people compare your other brother to like Scarface. They said that he was kind of he moved how Scarface moved or something like that.
Nah, Scarface was ruthless
And sloppy.
and sloppy.
He wasn't that.
No, but if you want to say on the level of,
Legs,
merchandise,
or I would say legs diamonds if you were to keep it into that world.
but
Lucky Luciano or something like that. Just being real.
right. So if it was asked to me one time, right, how would I describe our life story, right? And so that's why I made mention earlier. You ever saw the movie? Like I said, Once Upon a Time in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Add a little bit of the Warriors. Sprinkle a little bit of New Jack City in there, and add a whole lot of Sopranos. That's our life story.
So that's gonna be a crazy movie when it come out.
But how long you guys? So were you guys incarcerated first before he got incarcerated? If you understand.
Yeah.
How long did he elude the government for, you think?
Maybe a month.
I think he got tired.
Yeah,
He
maybe
did?
a month.
I think he got tired of running because they could have never caught him. It was a sighting in him in 3 different states at one time. They could have never caught him. He got tired. And it's understandable.
I want to ask you a question real quick. I'm pretty sure, and you can be as honest as you can. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of Frank Matthews, yes?
Yes.
In you guys' opinion, do you feel like he might have been working for the government, not as far as like, because how he escaped, how he got away? Somebody mentioned to me recently, I'm not gonna say the name, but in his opinion, he might have worked for the government because he got away with so much stuff. He had blocks, he bought blocks and stuff like that. And do you feel that way, or you just feel that he just got?
It was different times back then.
Got it.
So back then, real estate, was a lot lower than it was. Like, there wasn't no houses selling for no $1 million. In Queens, back in the 80s, you can buy you a nice brownstone for $34,000.
I heard.
You know what I'm saying? So it was different. And as I made mention, and this is no disrespect to NYPD or nothing like that, and not to say that there was a lot of dirty or crooked cops, but people had to put food on their table also. And people grew up together. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that he was working with no police or anything like that. I would never put that out there.
Understood.
Yeah. But there's people always on the payroll.
We leave it at that. Sorry, G. Yeah,
Good?
sorry. No. I ain't good
No,
yet.
ask me a question.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna fast forward to up to date stuff and all that.
Yeah, I definitely want to know. I definitely want to move forward. The last question is no.
You told me you don't stutter.
No, I didn't. No, I'm thinking about something.
Okay.
How many children do you have?
I have 4.
4. How many children do you have?
So, yeah.
6 that I know of.
Let's go, Ty.
I'm being honest.
Let's go.
If a child come to me today and they're 40, 42 and under, and they say from 42 to I say 37, and they say to me, my mother said you was my father, I'm gonna grab him and hug him and tell him whatever I did to disrespect you, I'm so sorry, I love you, how can we move forward? I don't want to do no tests. That's just how I live my life.
4, 6 that you know of.
Yeah.
So you guys were like what women, women love you?
No, we just respect it, man. We just respect it. Come on, man. You starting trouble, man.
No, I'm asking, man. I mean,
what's wrong with you?
Because no disrespect, man. You know me. Like I said,
we would love.
I know one of your
so,
daughters, and the other one I know the other one as well, and the skin complexion is different. So you move around.
But it's,
no, back then we
one
was
thing,
sort of like, if we want to say rock stars, we were the rock stars back then.
But
shout out to them.
It's one thing
Beautiful
that
family,
we only
bro.
did once, and that was me. I mentioned 2 of my kids in a magazine interview in reference to be who I am today. Don't talk about the apple that falls far from the tree. Let the apple roll, as long as it don't stand still, it get rooted into my foolishness. But it's one thing we don't do. We never talked about our kids in any interview because they didn't ask for any of this. They're innocent.
Bless them.
And,
No.
And we don't want whatever black cloud that for some apparent reason might still be hanging over our head to ever hover over theirs.
I understand, but I am allowed to say that I know his family because I do.
No, of course.
They show me a lot of love.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be myself to represent and give praise to beautiful people that showed me love and supported me over the years. Yeah. So I can talk about it.
Yeah, of course. When you talk about skin color, you was going somewhere.
You called me. I try to slip it in, man.
I caught it too. I'll just sing it.
I get you.
So
Yo, he called me, man.
Yeah, he saw
I try to slip it in and talk. That was good, damn.
Listen, those who have ears, let them hear, right?
Nah, you guys, that's number 3 up here. It's mental. So let's fast forward now. Let's glorify, the positive, and let's glorify what you guys doing now.
Can I change the term?
Sure.
Because this is our just due. We owe every young kid on the face of the planet Earth that think doing wrong is right.
Right.
So I don't want to use the term glorify what we're doing. I think what we're doing is our just due, and we owe, and we can never put the broom down because we made a mess in 23 different states. So we have to continuously and constantly sweep the street.
King of Kings Foundation. How did the name come to you guys?
So
where did the name come from?
Well, it came from the documentary King of Kings, right? And it's like no resemblance to our Lord and Savior. But cats think that we made the name up or something like that. Nah, it's just where we come from. It was a lot of kings in the streets. We just happened to be the king of kings. That's where the name came from.
So what was the first, I guess when you guys came home, what was your first big positive thing to get back to the streets that you guys did?
Well, the first thing, right, when we came home, right, we said, you know what, we want to go into schools and, we want to educate the kids, man, give them more of a choice or more of a chance than we had. And Todd actually came up, with the first thing. It was Allen Christian School. He said, hey, man, the school want me to come in and speak to them, and come with me. Let's go into the school and talk. And, we was, wet behind the ear, young, but we knew that we was dedicated and passionate about making a change. And so we went into school and, we didn't realize that we was going to have the impact that we had. And, we had a profound impact, and we just fell in love with, like, you know what? And I say it, and Tarcio, man, I like the way you say that. It's like, if we knew way back then that it felt this good to do the right thing, we would have been doing it.
That's real.
We would have been doing it.
You guys, what is the details of the organization? What is the organization?
So the organization, King of Kings, our mission.
Thank you.
Is to educate all to the dangers and consequences of being involved with drugs, guns, gang violence, and succumbing to peer pressure. Most importantly, we promote the importance of an education because we know the lack of can lead to homelessness, poverty, and incarceration. One of our strongest goals is to help build stronger, safer, closer communities. One way we achieve those goals, we do a lot of community events. And we use those events as a means of bridging the gap of communication between our youth, adults, and seniors. Because we know when people know each other, there's less tendency to be beef. If I know you and we have a misunderstanding, I could sit down and talk to you. I say, oh man, I know, homie, I could sit down and talk to you. You know, so that's our mission and our goal.
I'm looking at the website. It's King of Kings Foundation. Yes.
Yes. .org.
Yeah, I see it. It's a beautiful website. Actually, it looks new.
It's still.
Oh, G Money's here.
It's still under construction there.
Yeah, I mean, view all events, man.
You got the event coming up this month also.
Yes. So
Can you
it's
speak
our
about that?
annual Christmas carnival party for kids. I believe this is our 14th annual.
Wow.
Everything's free. No child leaves without a gift.
Oh man,
I think we average maybe 1,200 kids. But when you factor in parents and everything, we average at this event, at least 1,700, 1,800 people. Easily.
I have a question.
And we have let me just finish. And we have the hottest DJ on the face of the planet Earth.
That's a lot of shoes.
That
Big shoes
brings
to fill.
that music. And his name is G Money.
DJ G Money.
I ain't hating, man. I agree. How is it work? I agree, man. Salute to you. That's love. You know what I'm saying, welcome to the family, G Money. how does it feel like working with other organizations? You know, I mean, you know, is it a good thing? I mean, because you know, a lot of organizations out here, you know, their message is good, but that, you know, I hear a lot of things. I mean, I'm not gonna throw no. I ain't gonna throw no subs. You know, I really don't care, but I'm gonna respect these guys. All right, my fault. You know, a lot of people don't have, you know, some people that you guys have frequent with. Even, you know, my family have frequent with, you know, even G Money have frequent with, you know. The reputation is not too solid, and some people's out.
So what we
Oh, look.
No, we're very mindful about who we attach ourselves to.
Gee, there is.
No,
I see.
we're very mindful about who we attach ourselves to, because our organization is our brand, and that's a brand that we're building.
But I never heard nothing bad about you guys. But as I say, you know, certain people that you have worked with, I don't know if you still work with them.
A long time ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know who I'm talking. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure certain people, you know, and what do you think? And I'm not saying comment on anybody's business, but what do you think people go wrong when they initially get into these I guess I don't know how to put the word get into this mission.
I know what you're saying.
Where do they go wrong to make them have a bad reputation?
So they go wrong, right? Because in the beginning, they come into it in the right state of mind. They come in, they're passionate, and they're dedicated about making change in the community, right? And then somewhere down the line, they think they start seeing dollar signs, and then it changes. It changes from them helping in the community to them helping themselves and chasing the dollar. You know what I'm saying? And in this work, it's about love and dedication.
Yeah,
if you're doing the right thing, eventually the money will come. You know, but if you come in it looking for the money, you're gonna do more harm and hurt than you are gonna do good.
Do you think the reason why you don't look at things like that because you guys had so much money at a young age, so you know the feeling to get money?
No. I think it's the passion, because we remember yesteryear. We remember the destruction.
Respect.
And our organization is based on doing what's right, whether we have financial support or not, because we're on truly a mission. We're not going to allow money, which once upon a time controlled our movement. And that's what a lot of organizations are doing now. They're allowing themselves to get caught up in the dollar sign, and they're forgetting the mission. The mission is about saving lives. The mission is not about going to buy a house. It's about saving lives. And if you could constantly doing the right thing and saving a life, you may have someone that come to you and say, yo, you know what, I like what you're doing. I'm going to take you and buy you a car. No, I think you need a house. Instead of you misappropriating funds. Oh, did I say that? Instead of you misappropriating funds. Oh, did I say that? Instead of you misappropriating funds. Oh, I said it again.
You know, no. So wait. I got to play devil's advocate here. So, is a person not supposed to buy themselves a home if they're doing so much work and
So
they may not be living good and
answer the
things.
question.
And I want an honest answer.
I'm gonna answer it honestly.
I hope you do.
Right. So there are levels, right? When you're a nonprofit organization, I'm giving you the answer. I'm giving you the straight answer. When you're a nonprofit organization, right, and your budget is $1 million, as the executive director, you're allowed to pay yourself a certain amount.
Okay.
And there's a ceiling, right? And if you cross that ceiling, then you just overextend it because your budget does not, gratify you to pay yourself that much. So if you have $1 million budget, how can you justify paying yourself $275K? It don't add up.
It's called misappropriate. I done said that word again.
It don't add up.
When do you guys realize that, last point on this subject, realize that some things are actually not good to align with at the time? Like when did it come to your attention that, maybe we gotta separate ourselves because, do you see things? I know you may not know the business or their personal business. You may not know their funding or their financial statements, but when do you guys realize what do you have to see in order to move yourself away from these?
We don't assume. When a person tell you who they are, you believe them.
Don't start
And
the
they
old school
tell you-
talk, man. Temptation talk.
But it's real.
Just my imagination.
and they
don't
tell
start that
you-
type of talk, please.
And they tell you in more ways than one by words and by their actions. Their actions speak so much volumes that if you sitting back and you watching this, how could you not see it?
So it's as simple as the same thing that kept you alive today, coming from that street life. You bring a lot of those characteristics and those aspects with you. So the same way you was able to smell it back then, you can smell it now. It's no different.
Respect.
You can smell it.
And then the
it's no
streets talk. Hey, watch out for so and so.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah,
Watch your back.
it's true. I heard it. Yeah.
Don't get tainted. And it's reality. And it's not an indictment on anyone unless you are real with yourself. You put the shoe on and realize that the shoe is too tight for your foot.
But sometimes, no, that's a good one. Sometimes,
I said a few good ones.
yeah,
since
you
I
did.
listened.
Oh, did I just say that? Yes, you did. I mean, sometimes people could be hating though. Sometimes people could be hating on somebody else because of the success that they may gain for their organization. So the question I'm saying is that how do you said that you guys can smell it out, basically.
You can smell it. And so you have other people, right, that really are just trying to get the blueprint from you. Damn, how did they do it? Well, let me try to hang out and see how they did it so I can do it. And then they try to duplicate what you're doing, and they don't do so much of a good job doing it.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Respect.
But even though all of us are needed in this, like right now in this struggle, everybody's needed.
Amen.
But stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
So, you guys, tell us how it happened for you guys. You guys came home, and how you guys.
It didn't happen overnight. For the first 5.5 years, we did everything for free.
Travel,
Everything.
different states, not knowing how we was gonna put gas in the
Schools,
car, not knowing where we
everything.
was gonna sleep, not even knowing where the next meal was coming from. But one thing, even in that struggle, we knew within ourselves, ain't no way we're going back to where we used to be. So this struggle is for a reason.
That sounds kind of funny to me, but I'm gonna move on from that.
Yeah, we're gonna let that one ride.
Yeah. That sounds kind of funny.
No, but it's real.
We're gonna let that one ride.
Yeah, I mean,
But people, and I'm quite sure y'all experience it right now, on your station. Like people will try to get up under you just to see what you doing, how you did it, how did you climb to where you are, And instead of just sitting down and saying, hey man, listen, not for nothing, I respect what y'all doing, man. Can you teach me how to do this? Instead of just being open and honest and upfront and saying, yo, I don't know. I want to learn. Can you teach me? Because when things are freely given, then freely you have to give it. You know what I'm saying? But if you got somebody that's sitting up under you, right, and you see they have ulterior motives and you're saying, damn, come on. Why don't you just ask me? But then you realize, no, that's a snake.
And a lot of us, like you said, a lot of us is needed out here and stuff like that.
Yes, we all need it.
How were you able to so 5 years passed, and then when you get funded from the city, is that called a grant? What is that called?
It's all called grants, or you can get sponsored, by various agencies or companies. That's.
I never heard nothing funny about you guys as far as that neither.
Oh no, we fly
You know what I
straight.
mean? Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Because we know all eyes are on
No,
us.
to be honest, I never, other people I did, I don't know if it's true or not, but I never heard anything funny about you guys. But as I said that, I did see some sort of association a couple of years ago when I was younger.
True.
G Money, yeah.
But you know what
wanna be too
happens?
soft, G.
So you know how sometimes
Yeah, G.
sometimes a picture says 1,000
1,000
words.
words, yes.
Yeah.
And then all it takes is, yo, come on, let's take a picture together.
Oh, don't front like that. Don't downplay it like that. That's how it happened. You was doing. Come on,
Yeah,
don't do
but
that.
the work wasn't that extensive, and that's being real.
Oh, for real? Seriously?
Dead serious.
Wow.
That's it. And then I just want to backtrack a second, right?
Damn. It looks.
See, we are both formerly incarcerated professionals, and you have a lot of people that's locked up that follow us, and they like what we're doing, and it's more than safe to say we give a ray of hope. So we have to, not only for our sake, but for their sake, to fly straight. Because if somewhere along the line, maybe not to the level that we were, but you get caught up in the same thing and you think that there's nothing you can do when you come home, but you want to do something positive, we're the blueprint. Stay true to what you, as my mother say, stick to the plan.
Shout out to Mama Love.
Stick to the plan.
Wow. Oh, man.
So is anything we can look forward to in the future with you guys, 2020? Anything we should look forward to?
So as you mentioned, we close out the year with our annual Christmas Carnival Party for kids. That's December 21st, and we do that in the lovely Rochdale Grand Ballroom. They've opened their doors to us, so that's a blessing. And then we start the year off with an educational trip to Albany. So we take busloads of kids to Albany, right, for caucus weekend, and we teach them about legislating different bills and policies that are being implemented and put in place.
Wow.
Then after that, we have the only fundraiser that we do throughout the year, and that's our annual Black Tie Gala, which is, I don't know, they dubbed it the Players Ball or something. I don't know. But it's really
It's the
awesome.
King's Gala.
It's the King's Gala. Then from there, we do our annual Friends for Life community breakfast / barbecue. I think this is our 17th year coming up on that. And we average anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 people. And everything's free. Everything's free. They get breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That's a fact.
Fried fish.
For those who want to come out early, grits, fish, and shrimp.
I missed the grits. I missed the grits this year. I woke up a little late. I came out there.
And then after that, we do our back to school supply giveaway, right? Then we do our annual Revive Hope Cancer Awareness Walk. And we do our annual Lady Tanya Reed's Feed the Community Thanksgiving event. Not Christmas, so but throughout the year, we're
still talking in the schools.
Yeah, we're vendors. We're vendors
yeah.
with the Board of Ed. We're actually approved vendors now. So our curriculum, we have our own curriculum, our own mentoring program that's been adopted and accepted by the Board of Ed. So that speaks volumes. We have our own anti-drug, anti-gang warriors tour where we offer a series of workshops to various schools. So at any given moment, we're always in 6 to 9 schools simultaneously. So that's why sometimes it took so long for us to come, because in the morning we got to be up. We in schools.
Right.
Do you guys got a headquarters or no?
Yeah. So our office is located in Queens, right off of 140th Avenue and Thurston Street. King of Kings headquarters right there. It's public information. We make it happen, man.
What made you guys so how we looking for the movie, man? Because you were able to.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Why not?
It's not time for it.
So it's okay to do Feds mag. I'm looking at all these magazines y'all did and talk about it, but flip the script. You wanna?
But so check it. Now you're looking at the magazines. Look at the names and the covers on the magazine. So in those magazines, we're talking about, one, the first Fed magazine, we're exposing the government. We're exposing the federal government and showing that the government will go to any extent to get and seek an indictment against you. In the other magazines, we're talking about how we went from the courtrooms to the boardrooms. We're talking about if we was in the streets since we was 11, 12, and 13 years old, and that's all we knew, if we could change our life, so can you. So that's what we're talking about in those issues.
I saw some courtroom to boardrooms. After the money, drugs,
From
and
trial
guns
to
in prisons, these men are now making millions legit.
Only by the grace of God.
So you guys are making millions legit.
That's what they say.
Respect. So why? That's a good one. So why you think it's not time for the movie?
Because it's too much work to be done. I think if the movie come out now, this is just my personal opinion.
Respect.
It'll stagnate everything that we're doing.
Really?
Yeah, that's just my personal opinion.
Why you feel that way though?
Can I answer it?
For him?
Because when you look at producers, right? And, it's just the same way, and there's no disrespect, the same way you're trying to extract certain information. So they want to put certain image out there. And I'm giving it to you real.
You are.
Right? Because I talk about the prison industrial complex, and we talk about the business of incarceration, and we talk about how big this business is. It is a multi-trillion-dollar business.
They don't want to hear all that.
Right, but it's on the sweat of our back. But they want to use us to perpetuate and keep our people in a suppressed stage. So they're going to take our story, instead of talking about, the good and everything that we're doing now, they're going to highlight the past, right? And they're going to put a battery pack in some kid's back to make them think that, hey, I can do that shit too.
Yeah.
So that's what y'all feel. Y'all feel that the movie, if y'all was to do a movie, it would just bring the movement 10 steps backwards.
Personally, yeah. For the simple fact that the only way our life story can be done in a proper manner that will lead up to who we are today is if we had the financial support to do this movie ourselves. But when you don't, you're putting the trust in someone else's hands. We already know negativity sells. Sells newspapers, it sells records. It's good. It makes for good conversation. So if you could take three brothers who was in the drug world for 25 plus years and take out anything that they thought might have been decent and paint the picture because you own the screen. So you're going to paint the picture, and the picture's not going to be painted the way we feel it should be painted, because we can't deny our past. But all we saying is, don't forget about our presence and where we're headed, not only for us, but for our future generations. If you take that out, then all you're doing is saying, hey, you know what? These guys, they made millions of dollars. They wrecked lives. They destroyed communities. They had fun. They gonna show the flying, going to different states, going to Vegas, having a whole bunch of fun, the big parties, the nice cars, all the pretty girls. And that's gonna leave an everlasting impression in a young person's mind who does not want to educate himself to be the best person that he could be today than who he was yesterday.
But I can tell you one thing, though. If they was to do a series about our life, it could run for 9 years and never repeat. And it'll never be a repeat.
You sucked your teeth in disbelief.
I believe, but it's like, oh, man. Respect to what
You trying to find something, right?
Nah, I respect it. Nah,
but you're good at your craft, right? You know what I'm saying? We salute you. Yeah. We definitely salute you.
Don't give me no.
We didn't watch the little bit how you done sat there and picked people apart. We just sitting there looking like, I know you didn't. Such a buffoon. He just like reeled it right at him. Look at that.
But you guys, you guys are pretty good. But I was able to get, some stuff. But I definitely respect the you guys got a bigger message. That's that's a fact. Actually, you guys, I understand what you guys are saying because you guys are out there on the front lines. A lot of people are not on the front line for the youth. Yeah. We say we are, but a lot of people, you guys are on the front line. So people watch you, and it'll be sort of hypocritical if you seem like you're glorifying something and the kids,
Exactly.
And but your story is amazing. Reading what I read is just crazy. And even when I asked about, and you were like this, that was mad funny.
you know what it would be? If we were to do a movie, and it clearly is more than safe to say it would be total glorification, not on our behalf, on the powers that be behalf.
Respect.
It would be no difference than the guy 45, what he's trying to do now.
But if they do the movie, you know they got to talk about your past, though. They have to talk
Of
about the
course,
past.
and we're cool with that, but we're saying don't erase today. See, some people's past only go to a certain extent. And that's what they want. See, we can't do it. Like they wanted us for American Gangster. We was like, yo, you can't even pay us $25,000. We ain't gonna give you a dime. We gonna put you on TV. We on TV already. You don't need to do American Gangster, the Fuertado's life story to be on TV. We in magazines, we in newspapers. No brag. It's just fact because we're doing the right thing. We're saving lives. We are being a thorn in the prison industrial complex behind.
Explain that before, because I definitely want to know about what's that you guys are wearing. I think that's dope.
So this
He
comes
goes right into it. He goes right into it.
Yeah. We can talk about that.
We can talk about that.
We can talk about that.
That's easy.
That's from my clothing line with my partners. The original Frickin' Frack, my baby Adrian and sister Nadine. We created this clothing line called Revive, right? And so it came from, and Todd kind of shares it a lot. When you being revived, you being what?
Restored.
Made whole.
Made like new.
Made like new. And in order to be revived, you have to went through some shit. You had to come through something, right? So you're being revived, right? Another part of our line is staying relevant. So once you get revived, now you want to become relevant and stay relevant. But the only way you can stay relevant is you have to be chosen by God.
Because many are called, few were chosen.
Wow.
Very powerful. Wow.
And so for those who want to get it, all they got to do is go to revivewear.com.
Is that your guys' clothing line?
Yes.
It's actually nice sweaters, nice logo and stuff like that. I'm gonna put it
I
together.
just wear it.
Tell us about the lastly, before we get up out of here. Tell us about the whole prison system and what you guys are doing, because you stated even earlier that you guys are a thorn in the prison system, and you also stated the prison system is $1 trillion business. Now,
it only survives on the head count.
a lot of people though do the crime, but a lot of people don't. But a lot of people do the crime. So, what would be your beliefs? You feel like the time that's being handed is too hefty? What would be your beliefs as far as for people that's out here committing crimes? What should we do with them?
Well, this is my thing. Prisons, of course, they're needed because people do commit crimes, but you have low-level crime committers, like a low-level drug seller that's doing kingpin time. Because someone said he brought something from him 25 times, they added it all up, and that's the sale. You have some people that's a repeat offender, and they're repeating crimes is low-level crimes, like going into the store, stealing a piece of bubble gum. But they did it 10 times. Guess what? You're doing 15 years for stealing 10 pieces of gum. Like, prison is needed. You have rapists. They need to be under the prison.
I agree.
You have, now I believe in self-defense, but you have blatant, out-and-out murder. They need to be under the prison.
And you have the P word, the guys that harm children. Those guys.
They need to be gone. Not by me, but they need to be gone.
I respect. I hear you.
But the thing is, prison is a multi-billion-dollar business. They survive off a head count. And being that we spent time in prison, we came to the realization because we saw many people who look like us. And quite sure Lance have also. I had the opportunity to go through a lot of people's cases where I was at in Petersburg, and a lot of them were truly innocent, but they was afraid. They was afraid that they blow trial, they getting 25 to life, or 475 months in Fed time.
Yeah, see, feds don't sentence you by years; they sentence you by months, and they have a 95% conviction rate because of the fear of God they place in people.
Yeah.
Because if they know if you take the feds to trial and you lose, it's life. And you'd be like, but damn, I didn't do it. But
So
like
how you
Todd
supposed to
said,
fight
it's
it though?
I mean, you fight to the best of your ability. You don't lay down. And see, at the end of the day, if you do get time, At least you get time and your conscience is clear. Like I got time, but I was like, okay, let's look at it today. In the last 2 to 3 years, look how many people came home from jail that was locked up for 36 plus years for murder and did not commit that murder. It's a business.
Yeah.
Any prison survives off a head count. And if they have empty beds like Rikers Island, for those who are listening, Rikers Island has dorms with open beds. We're coming into the 2020. 2020 means there's a 2020 census count. Just like they send letters to your house to ask how many people live in your house to determine how much money go to your neighborhood, so is Rikers Island. It's a neighborhood. So if they have open beds, they have to fill those beds to make their census count great. They're going to fill those beds by any means necessary. And it's our job to educate young and or old to these traps. And don't get me wrong, some are by design, and the majority is self-made because we the slickest people. Can't nobody tell us nothing. We know everything. But just because you think you're the smartest person in the world, that don't mean you have to go to jail, because prison breed criminals. Everyone goes to prison and either become a philosopher or the slickest person on the face of the planet Earth. And each is a recipe for disaster. So it's our duty from day one to break this pipeline from the schoolyard to the prison yard, because they are only locking up people who look like you and I. Some need to be there, but everyone doesn't.
I mean, you tell me, right? As minorities, as black and brown, Latino, we only make up 13% of the world's population. And let's just say New York, we only make up, in the state, 13%. But we make up 74% of all prison population. You do the math.
So, we have to go to the schools and educate these kids.
But how can we help change the law then? How can we help make change?
So one thing that we're doing now, right? So we're fighting to have some of the language changed in the 13th Amendment.
13th Amendment, which is?
And the 13th Amendment clearly states, right, that slavery is against the law unless you're in prison. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's certain things that have to be changed. And language, we're stickler with language, because you heard Todd clearly stating that we are formerly incarcerated professionals, formerly incarcerated people. We're not ex-felons, we're not, So it's, the language that we use, we have to be mindful. And once we begin to put the right language out there, then we help change the mindset of our youth. You know what I'm saying? What we say to parents, because everybody's worrying about everybody else's. No, go get yours. Go out and get your kid. Bring your kid in. Stop being a friend and be a parent. Be a mother, be a father, be a dad. Sit your kid down. If all of us did that with our own kids, we're kind of nipping it in the bud right then and there.
I agree.
And there's one thing. So maybe we don't have the power to change the world, right? But if we take stock in our own kids, we have the opportunity to change their mindset. And if we change their mindset, then maybe they'll make better choices. Of course, we have police on the street. All police are not bad, but we have some that go above and beyond the call of duty. They lock you up just because of how you look. But you're still standing on your morals. I didn't do it. That's not my thought. That's not my walk. That's not who I am. But if you fit the profile and you carry yourself in such a manner, it's easy to label you, because racial profiling is alive and well. And we make it so easy because we think things that come from jail is a fashion statement. There's no reason for a young person to be walking through and their pants hanging off their butt. People in jail, their pants are sagging because they have old pants on. They didn't give them a belt. They took your belt so you don't hang yourself.
But they'll take their shoestrings out and tie it around their waist to keep their pants up.
So it's like, it's things that and it falls back to, like, we take everything as a fashion statement. Like the N-word, we know the N-word is terrible. It's degrading. It's humiliating. So we put the my nizzle with it. Now it's cool. No, it's wrong. But we find we give power to things that will tear us down. And how do I know to tear us down? Because of someone who look like us, who don't look like us, and say it, we want to hurt them. But if we say it to each other, it's cool, and it's not cool. Self-examination starts at home, and once we start checking ourselves, the people that's on the outside looking in have no choice but to, they ain't got to love us, none of us, but they're going to have to respect us for who we are, because we bring more to this thing called Earth than they do. We built this. But we get the credit for it? Of course not.
Well,
Yeah. Powerful words today, man.
is there any final words?
Yeah, all we need folks to do is believe in themselves. Believe that you can. Believe that you can. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will.
Wow.
Right? And there's two type of people in this world. One that believes he can, and one that believes he can't. Guess what? Both of them are right. Which one are you?
That's it. And I wouldn't even dare come behind that.
Yeah, we want to thank y'all for coming to the show, man, to the platform. We appreciate the powerful words. I definitely want to say something. A friend of mine's basketball. He's part of the team as well. He couldn't be here this evening, but before we interview you guys, he asked me about you guys, and it's funny that you guys speak how you spoke today, because it showed a testament of who you guys are. Growing up, you guys watched me grow up from young, and I had to really go do research today before the interview, because I didn't know about all of the stuff you guys did before, because I only knew what you guys put out to me, right. and like you did today on the show. You know what I'm saying? You guys didn't want to stick on too much of the negative, from the past, and what you did also will be growing up. You know what I'm saying? Me growing up, I always knew you guys from just doing positive events. I heard about, you guys doing some stuff and getting money. That's really it. I didn't hear the details. You know what I'm saying? So today is the most I've ever heard about you guys, as far as the negative stuff and, whatever in the past. So, I definitely commend you guys on that, you know what I'm saying? And keeping that vibe and keeping that positive energy alive. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, we thank y'all, man, for, even allowing us to come and sit on your couch, man.
Appreciate it.
Because a lot of people sat on this couch, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
we're honored, man, to be sitting here. You know what I'm saying? And just imagine if we would have put that negative image out, right, when you was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be the marvelous guy that you are right now, man, because you're doing some great things, man.
Appreciate
we watch,
it.
man.
Appreciate
we
it.
be watching.
Yes, yeah.
The same thing you with my brother. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I like the craziness. But.
No, but you just like to pull it out and extract that information.
Yeah, well, I think,
which is okay.
I think I did. You guys are pretty good.
You did a great job, man.
No, we're marvelous.
You guys are pretty. No.
You did a great job.
You guys are pretty good. I think it was a difficult challenge, but hey, I think that
But
what we did today, we lived your title.
Yeah, let's see. Flip the
And
script.
this is our mindset. We are determined to flip the script, because every black person is not a gangster. Every black person is not a thug. Every black person is not a drug seller.
So let's take you for an example, right? Do you know how much inspiration you putting out to kids right now that's sitting back watching your podcast, you and G Money, and saying, damn, I could do that too. That's inspiration. That's motivation right there. So even though you might feel that, I like to go and pull it out and extract it and get it, yeah, that's part of being a journalist. You know what I'm saying? That's part of being a Wendy Williams or a Charlemagne the God, you know what I'm saying, getting the dirt, you know what I'm saying? But imagine how much more information you can put out there with the platform that you have. Like Charlemagne, I salute that brother. You know what I'm saying? Because even though he extracts it, do you see all of the wisdom and the positivity he puts out there?
Yeah.
And the stand that he takes a stand for righteousness.
And he'll step on the toe.
Now, if you acting like a fool, he'll let you know too. You know what I'm saying? But, that's why I said, man, I salute y'all, man.
I appreciate that.
What you're doing is not easy. And you're dedicated. You're here, man. G Money, you got how many hats you wear, man?
He's the man.
You know what I'm saying? How many hats do you wear?
Not that much.
See what I'm saying? But you're dedicated. You're here, man.
He crazy.
That's all right. You're here.
You know, the thing is, they think, you know, it was good. It was good.
No, I think it was like you said, they flipped the script on us. I think it was good though. I think it was definitely a positive message, man. You know, I think people need to hear it.
Yeah.
You
And
know
it
what I mean?
went exactly the way it was supposed to
You
go.
have to love it. You have to love it.
We're gonna talk about it on camera, man.
On that note, it's getting a little late. I won't keep my
facts.
unks out too long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we appreciate y'all coming out.
Thank you.
Thank y'all, man. December 21st,
Yes.
Rochester Grand Ballroom.
Yes.
Make sure you come out, bring the family, bring the kids out. It's gonna be a good time.
And even though it's late in the interview, I would definitely be remiss if I didn't make mention that we have our sister Deb with us.
Yes.
She wears 1,000 hats. She keeps Lance and I on point. After Lance and myself, she's the go-to person for the King of Kings Foundation.
She's always there.
And we salute her. We salute her because she does it with a grateful heart, and we put a lot on her. So thank you, Deb.
Shout out to Deb one time. Yeah.
Please.
I pressed it.
All right.
Definitely.
She's definitely always there, always holding it down for sure.
Yeah.
On that note, maybe closing it out, man. One more time for Jungle Life City. Shout out to Jungle Life City store.com. That's the website. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole DMV, Maryland, and all that.
This is crazy, bro.
Twitter at Jungle Life City. Instagram, Jungle Life City. You can go follow them. Check them out. The clothing brand is got some little situation up here. You know what I'm saying? Feeling good, feeling nice.
So what it say on the arm?
What it say on the arm again? I can't read from the side like that. I'm kind of...
I ain't reading nobody. I ain't reading nobody clothing line, man.
My peripheral is not really working.
Yeah, it's about business. You hear what my man says about business, man? Huh? You hear what they said?
We signed it out, man. Yeah. Sign us out.
It was like pulling a tooth without Novocaine with these guys, man. Huh? But make sure you go to the kingofkingsfoundation.org.
Yes.
I was looking at it. It's a beautiful website. You said it needs to be updated, but I don't know what update you need. It looks nice. It looks good. It looks like it's updated. Yeah, I see G Money on it.
Man, that's crazy.
See Dab. I see. Look. Oh yeah. I see the family. Yeah. Yeah. See Dawson, and I just see things. And what's the website again for the clothing line?
The clothing line is revivewear.com.
Just make sure I type that.
I just wear it.
That's your slogan, huh?
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
It's Queen's Flip. Hold on. It's a good interview. I like it. Sometimes we come into things and we see things going one way, but it goes another way. And I'm fine. I think that the interview was great.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I still got some words for these guys off camera. I think that you're going to be seeing us together in the future.
Come out to the event, man, 21st.
Yeah. G, don't put me in the spot like that, G.
Bring the kids out, man.
I'm gonna try. Come on, G. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna come. Let me talk off camera. Why you do that, man?
Sometimes you do it to me.
Yo, G, man. You know they gonna hold me accountable, man.
That's a fact. He's my unks right here, man. You gotta come out.
Nah, they're official. I definitely. I found the website. I definitely wanna salute these brothers, man. A lot of stuff that they do for the community is amazing, and it's good that they have a great person behind them as well. Miss Deb, shout out to her. It's amazing, man. Growing up in our communities, man, we glorify the negative stuff. I was one of those people because I had both parents. I mean, my dad, they work hard, they struggle to provide for me, and I still chose a different route just because of what I felt was appropriate. And then when you get incarcerated or get locked up and you start being in the streets, sometimes you realize this is not what you want, you know what I mean? And sometimes a lot of kids in the community, they force themselves to be in the streets because some of the parents, like he said, it's not an excuse. Some of the parents work. Mm-hmm. Some of the parents have jobs and do what they do to provide it. They do their best. They give you their last in order for you to go to school. And all they ask is for education, and you get what you want. They save up all year, even if they don't have it. I know parents that save up all year to get you a Christmas gift. Mm-hmm. But the mind is that we think that the route or being a popular guy, being flashy and fly based off of, what society has made us feel like. It's so crazy. It makes you do a lot of things that you don't need to be doing. A lot of these kids who have a future choose to go a different route, and this is why we need the Fuertado brothers, Flip the Script, all these organizations to help show them the right way and let them know that it's okay, and it's okay to be the kid that studies in class, and it's okay to be, you could be hood, but you also getting an education and respecting your parents, and not having your pants sagged, and not it's okay to want to hang out, but not becoming overzealous and doing too much. You know what I mean? So I salute you guys, man, and it was a lot. I learned a lot today. You know what I mean? I learned a lot, and
For sure.
Lock your doors, close your windows, close your blinds, open your blinds. And if you see the Fuertado brothers on your lawn, you don't need a firearm. Let them in. They don't mean any harm. I'm from Queens. But if you have a conversation with them, ring the alarm because they ain't going to tell you nothing.